it's Karla with Interior Design, and today I'm going to take you on a living room tour of a project I completed and give you some of the tips and tricks around this design plan. So here we have the living room. It backs onto the kitchen, which is probably quite common for a lot of you right now, that there's an open kitchen and living room area. So the first thing with the living room is to come up with the layout. How do you want the space to function? So in this case, and a lot of cases, I will say if you're a TV watcher, it's gotta kind of function around the TV. So here we had the fireplace on one side, and then the other side where you see this beautiful wood feature, there's actually a TV hidden behind that. So we wanted to make sure they're a family of four, that the living room had a layout that supported that. So we thought of two different options. We could do a couple couches, a couple chairs, or a sectional. And I do love a sectional. The reason we didn't go with one in this space is it's so large that I felt like the sectional would just completely take over the space. So instead we went with two different couches. Actually, two couches, same couch. We did one facing the fireplace and the TV and the other on the side wall. The reason I really like this option is, again, it gives you that same look in a way of a sectional, of the consistency of it. It gives you a lot more seating, because sometimes when you're entertaining in a sectional, people feel weird sitting beside each other, so that gives you a lot more conversational room, and it also breaks it up, so there's a little bit of space in between. So we started with those two couches, which I think look fantastic in the space. We then wanted to do two chairs. Now, my tips with chairs and occasional chairs is to think in different materials. So because the couch had kind of like the cottony linen material, we wanted to do something different. So we went with a tougher material like a leather in this beautiful cognac color in the chairs. And we faced those chairs, of course, facing into the living room, but backing onto the deck. So that's another tip as well. If you have a deck or part of the living room opens up to an outdoor space, try not to put the heavy solid furniture there, but put things that are more airy, like a chair there, and these chairs could be turned around. The other thing you could do in that space is put like a swivel chair. So if you wanted to sit and kind of swivel around, look at the view, you could do that as well. Next thing I want to talk about is rug. I talk a lot about rugs, but again, this was a very large room. So this is a very large rug. And a rule of thumb with rugs is either the entire furniture sits on it, or at least the front legs. You really want that to ground the space, and I see a lot of small rugs, and it really makes a space for one feel larger, feel cozier if you have a large rug. Another tip with a large space like this is to move your furniture in a bit. So it doesn't have to be sort of at each side of the square of the room. Kind of move it in a bit, and that will create that cozy, welcoming feeling. Next, I want to talk about coffee tables. And round coffee tables, I gotta say, are probably my favorite. The reason is furniture's linear, right? You got your couch, you got your sectional, it's that linear shape. So having something round just really breaks up the space, and you're able to walk around it. So choosing this large round wood coffee table, again, going in a different material, I think works well in the space. And then I want to talk about focal points. So usually in a living room, a focal point would be the fireplace. And it really is. This is a beautiful marble fireplace, and then you've got the wall of this beautiful light oak wood. But we also have the back wall we didn't want to forget about. So we put art on there through a great local artist, Amy Stewart. We put two of her paintings on there, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, I really do think bigger is better. Do not put little bitty art above your sofa. You know, try and fill the space. You could even go, if you were doing a gallery wall, to fill the whole space, even where the side tables are. So we add a beautiful piece of art, and then it's just about accessorizing. So a side table in between the two chairs, a side table in between the two couches. I do love a floor lamp always on one side of a sofa. I think it's just practical and looks great. Plants around it, and then you've got to style it, of course. You've got to have some pillows, you've got to have some throws, and some fun things on the coffee table, which I'll do another video about styling your coffee table, but think of things like books and vases and nice objects. So I hope you enjoyed this living room tour and some living room tips that I hope are helpful for you. Make sure you are subscribed for weekly design, styling, and decor videos. And the first step at any design project is knowing your personal style, and I have a free quiz for you, and I've linked to it below. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.